If you're such a big fan of this candy, you better keep it for yourself. Or maybe I could buy it from you. I may have been dead for the past 100 years, but offering you a few candies won't put me in the poorhouse yet. In any case, the current state of Amber Street allows for the reunion of the 7 Shrews. And you wanted to commemorate the occasion with candy. Yeah. I think the last time we all gathered together like this was nearly a century ago. This really is quite moving. You once asked me what it feels like to stand before the anchor. At that time, I could not clarify my thoughts and remain silent. But now, my thoughts have dispelled that fog of confusion and presented themselves before me. Yes, facing the counterfeit you mentioned, I have never longed for such a thing, nor have I underestimated myself. I have only come to one gradual realization, that drawing nourishment from the shadows and mistakes cast by the dome of destiny is futile. I'm sorry. For the survival of Langqiu, for the people in this land who are still struggling, I must kill you. Meanwhile, the people in Oxia also made their own decision. We have to return to Langqiu. Her companion responded almost instantly. Agreed. Thanks. All those abnormal event notifications are getting on your nerves too, Corelli. It's not just because of that. We've been waiting and watching for so long, but the situation in Oxia hasn't improved at all. It's still plagued by shadows. We don't necessarily have to follow the words of someone we just met, even if that person is Songque's master. True, he's friendly enough, but his actions are extremely forceful, and he's left us with very little choice. We didn't even get to say goodbye to Songque. If Songque wakes up and finds that we're all gone, she's bound to be disappointed. More than just disappointed, she might be heartbroken. Are you so sure? Call it telepathic connection between companions. Companions. Seemingly realizing something, Chen Xue's expression rapidly became crestfallen. I shouldn't speculate too much about the relationships of the 7 Shrews. The relentless hunting of destruction and the arbitrariness of falsehood practically force me to see the negatives in all things. I can't conclude whether it stems from an inexplicable kindness or an impending conspiracy until I see it with my own eyes. Of course, compared to Oxia's future, all that I've spoken about seems positively trivial. In that case, we have to return to Langqiu no matter what. We can't just continue stumbling around in the dark like this. You're right. There's no harm in giving it a try. Well, let's get started then. We're counting on you, Sana. Don't worry, leave it to me. Huh? Why isn't it responding? Try smacking it harder. The anchor of the apocalypse isn't some old-fashioned household appliance, but might makes right. Alright, I'm gonna give it a whack. Why did we stop in the sea of data? Should I have snapped it a few more times? Look over there. Since there are shadows, it's probably related to Ch3-Ph1-Pet2's master. He didn't want us to interfere with Lang Qiu's affairs, so it's unsurprising for him to tamper with Anchor. Now, how do we get to Lang Qiu? Do they get Corelli's plane again? That's the Cambrian 535, but we don't need to. A clumsy denial exposes itself. We just need to follow the shadows and fight our way through. Is it related to the energy gradient also? True. Now we understand that shadows aren't native to the sea of data, just like the water in a cave doesn't belong to the cave itself. So if we swim against the current, we eventually see the light. I'll make this quick. Leave it to me. Compared to the last time we chased after that dog, this master doesn't seem determined to make our lives difficult. I think his position is rather different from Dou Nigui's. Looks like we've reached the source. As expected. Now I cannot even command shadows as I wish. Amidst the stagnant silence, the only response came in the form of the four strangers' gaze. Even though I'm skilled in creation, in the end, I'm trapped by it. It's quite fitting as a punishment, is it not? Hopefully, they can scare off those children. If this measure turns out to be extraneous, the result would be satisfying nonetheless. Regardless of whether it's strictly necessary, we have to consider all possibilities. Only then will the crux of the world's problem truly surface. Surface from the murky waters called human nature. Now I realize that the so-called ritual always revolves around the perishing of life. If Li hadn't sacrificed himself 100 years ago, the only turnaround would never have come to me here and now. Yes, even if it will only bring more perishing. We must pay our debts. After passing through the extremely unstable spatial rifts one by one and returning to Langqiu, the red-haired girl immediately deduced the possible patterns between herself and the teleport waypoints. Guess the anchor of the apocalypse really is like an old appliance. Sure, we may have fallen into the sea of data, but all it took was a few whacks to get us where we wanted to go. I'm pretty sure we fell into the sea of data because Songque's master interfered. That ruined my appliances analogy. I was looking forward to seeing if the anchor of the apocalypse was secretly connected to CRTs and LCDs, or maybe even comic books. You know, like we've all been living inside a fairy tale or something this entire time. That sounds kind of creepy if you ask me. Let's put these tangents aside for now. Since we came here to uncover the purpose of the 7 shoes, and Songque's master just mentioned some ritual, our best course of action is to find out where Songque went. They say undue delay may bring trouble. There really is no need for that. She's right there. What are they doing? Just when Entropy and the others were trying to nudge their way through the crowd, excited cheers burst out from the center of the crowd. You lost! Now it's time to pay. I don't have that much to my name. I didn't say you have to give me all your belongings if you lose. Just give that bag of ill-gotten gains back to everyone for me. After giving the winner's speech, she walks to Chu-Qian and whispers something into his ear. In this line of work, it would behoove you to still have a conscience. Who you can and can't deceive, how to deceive, and to what extent. There are certain rules to play here. You understand? Understood. That's more like it. Over here. She turned around. It wasn't until then she realized that she was not only surrounded by passerbys rooting for her heroic deeds, but also her returning companions. How did you all end up here? We were worried about you, that's why. Your master came, knocked you out without saying a word, then hurled us back to Oxia. We're not blaming him, we're just concerned about you. Concerned about me? What could happen to me? It's not like I'm going out of my way to find excuses for my master, but you really shouldn't stay in Langqiu for too long. The upcoming ritual of the 7 shoes will put an end to the crisis in Oxia. However, on the flip side, the anchor of the apocalypse in Langqiu will be completely stagnant and never be activated again. In the event you're unable to leave in time, you'll have to stay in Langqiu indefinitely. He could have been more straightforward about this when we first met. It's not like we're demons. If you ask us, we could even be considered his companion. According to end perception, Master was a bit anxious, which is why he made the decision without informing us. Anyway, as his disciple, I should still take responsibility on his behalf. It's okay. Our primary objective in coming back is to ensure your safety. Speaking of which, why isn't Perception with you? She wanted to be alone for a while to prepare for the ritual. And when is that? I can't say for sure, but when the time comes, Master will find a way to remind everyone to gather. It won't be too late for you to leave then. I thought... What? You're not trying to get rid of me, are you? After the ritual ends, we won't be able to see each other anymore. Don't say that. Of course we want to see you. Yeah, this opportunity to say goodbye is something we all fought for. I didn't expect you guys would miss me so much. Well then. Before you leave, I've got to take you to experience the most unique things in Amber Street. Since we're still together, we can't miss a thing. Are you concerned about my outfit? Yeah, considering your personality, it is pretty bizarre to see you shopping in this attire. Well, it's all because Lantern tore several holes in my nicer clothes. I've already asked Miss Janet from the tailor shop to take care of that. Until then, I'll have to make do with this. We're here. We may not have enough time to sit down for desserts, but drinks it serves are also exceptional. Why don't you all tell me your preferences? I'll help pick the proper drink for you. That way, there will be some element of surprise. Just get me the best-selling drink in the shop, thanks. Sure thing. And what about the others? I prefer light drink. As for Corelli, she likes it heavily flavored. I mean salty. That's correct. Thank you, Song-Che. And entropy. The third one down the second column from the left of the menu. Huh? What kind of request is that? If you're seeking the element of surprise, or choose a drink that even you can predict. If it doesn't taste good, there's no going back, okay? Alright everyone, stay right here. I'll be back in just a sec. What's wrong, Corelli? Don't you find something strange about Song-Che? What makes you say that? If you break your glass, but you still want to drink water, what would you do? I drink from a bowl, or I go get a bottle of water. Exactly. When something we often use breaks, we usually choose the easiest replacement we can find. But the clothes Song-Che is wearing right now are the same set we saw in her memories. It would make someone dig out their clothes from so many years prior. Maybe for a memorable occasion of some sort. Are you suggesting that the ritual is some kind of celebration, like putting on a paper crown on your birthday? Did you think of that example too, Senna? What? Senna, Song-Che just said that this might be our last time in Langqiu. Don't you think it would be a pity to spend it sleeping? I'm wide awake now. Entropy, if you see me dozing off again later, just give my cheeks a hard pinch. I won't be mad at you. You're really one of a kind. Oh, what are you giddy for? Did you talk about something fun? As Song-Chue said, this drink was surprisingly good. It not only brought a sparkle to Santa's eyes, but also caused Crady's tail to wag with gusto.
一起制造些乐趣，或者舍身成为我的乐趣，你有一次选择的机会哦。你带路吧。跟着我。
The weather is crystal clear. If it weren't for me being retired, we wouldn't have time to relax like this. What do you say, Elsa? Oh, it's not Elsa in the yellow dress, but you, Andrew 4. Oh dear, I must be getting old. Looks like it's time to get a pair of glasses from Dr. Ludi. Don't laugh at me, Luke. Luke? Who are you chatting with? You mean Elsa and Luke? They're both my old buddies. We grew up together, went to school together, and worked together. But later on, Elsa couldn't stand the tedium of the job, so she quit. As for Luke... Strange, I just saw him here a moment ago. Where did he go? Whoa! Whoa! Ancient History of the Phoenix Continent, Part 2. Classical Era. Warring State Period. Year 660 of the Old Calendar to year 799 of the Old Calendar. In the late period of the Qing dynasty, due to the weakening control of the central authority over feudal states, the broad kingdom system of the Phoenix Continent gradually collapsed. The states began to act on their own, attacking each other, hence earning the title of the Warring States period in later ages. Despite frequent conflicts, the progress of material culture in the Phoenix continent was not significantly affected. During this period, primitive iron tools emerged, and the production of food and textile notably increased. Technologies such as cart making and shipbuilding also made considerable advancements compared to previous generations. Additionally, the war between states effectively promoted the integration of ancient tribes, setting the stage for the emergence of a unified empire. Jing Empire, year 799 of the Old Calendar to year 807 of the Old Calendar. The Jing Empire was a short-lived regime that lasted only 8 years, totaling just over 5,000 days. Yet, its significance for the Phoenix continent was immense. As the eventual winner of the Warring State period, the state of Shu unified all the territories of the former Qing dynasty through force and implemented its own legal system, known as the imperial system, which was completely different from the traditional feudal system. Although this empire was soon overthrown due to a lack of governing experience, every subsequent dynasty invariably inherited the imperial system it had pioneered. Yi Empire, year 809 of the Old Calendar to year 1021 of the Old Calendar. Historically, with the support of the populace, the Yi Empire replaced the Jing Empire in many aspects, serving as a natural extension of the Jing Empire, or the imperial system. After recovering from social unrest, the Yi Empire exhibited strong expansionist tendencies in the midterm, incorporating many areas not previously controlled by the Qing dynasty into its imperial rule, thus further promoting the cultural integration process of the Phoenix continent. During this period, the material culture of the Phoenix continent comprehensively entered the Iron Age, and primitive steel-making technology emerged. With steel and horses, along with its advanced agriculture, the Phoenix continent's empire truly became a hegemony on a global scale. However, as an ambitious empire, economic crisis became its inevitable fate. In the first millennium of the Old Calendar, economic collapse caused by inflation rang the death knell for this empire. Second Yi Empire, year 1029 of the Old Calendar to year 1135 of the Old Calendar. The economic collapse at the end of the Yi Empire led to a devastating civil war, which further weakened the economic foundation of the Phoenix continent, leading to widespread famine. By the time a marginal noble of the Yi Empire emerged victorious after nearly 9 years of civil war, the registered population of the new empire had decreased by nearly 90%. However, with the empire's return to stability, resettlement of refugees, and population recovery, it took the Phoenix continent only 20 years to restore its previous level of prosperity. During this period, a significant achievement in material culture on the Phoenix continent came from an important technological innovation, papermaking. This provided the entire society with highly cost-effective writing material, laying the foundation for the increase in literacy rate and the widespread dissemination of culture. Bai Empire, year 1135 of the Old Calendar to year 1187 of the Old Calendar. The expansion of the intellectual class ultimately led to a reshuffling of the upper echelon of the empire. After 30 years of chaos at the end of the Second Yi Empire, the Bai Empire took over. However, internal struggles within the emerging class planted seeds of instability for the empire. After only 3 generations of monarchs, the Bai Empire erupted into a large-scale civil war due to a crisis in succession, ultimately leading to a long period of turmoil afterwards. Despite criticism of the empire's rule, the literary and artistic achievements of the Phoenix continent entered a golden age during this period, producing a significant number of groundbreaking literary figures and poets. Additionally, mathematics also saw some developmental achievement during this period, enabling people of the time to calculate pi to the 6th decimal place. Second Warring States period, year 1187 of the Old Calendar to year 1335 of the Old Calendar. The large-scale civil war of the Bai Empire sparked the total collapse of its regime. Over the next 150 years, various regional powers in the Phoenix continent successively established a total of 36 empires and states. Hence, this period was also referred to as the 36 states by later generations. Unlike the First Warring States period, over half the powers in the Second Warring States period were dominated by tribes from outside the Phoenix continent. They came as mercenaries during the civil wars, and thus formed various military aristocratic groups. As a swan song of the classical era, this chaotic period laid several important material foundations for future prosperity. The promotion of intercropping agriculture, the spread of steelmaking and porcelain firing technologies, the invention of stirrups and compasses, and the birth of oceanic shipbuilding. It was during this era that a considerable number of Phoenix continent pioneers began developing the regions they called Eastern Isles and Western Isles, which corresponding to Lune and Elysium areas. Apologies, this one is a bit shy. I'm a staff member here, and you can call me Bing. If you need anything, just ask me. Who is this girl? This child seems to be lost, and we're trying to reach her family. She's been silent the whole time. Since we don't know her name, we've just been calling her Xun for now. She seems to be afraid of me. Is it because I look too intimidating? Anyway, if there's any clue about her family, please contact the Civic Hall.